Okay, that was a nice welcome, you all. Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I first want to thank the North Carolina Hunger Leaders Conference team for allowing me the opportunity to share our School Nutrition Association of North Carolina's 22-23 theme with you. I bring you greetings from over 2,500 SNA-NC members. As you can see from the monitor, this is our SNA-NC logo. Oh, there it is. This is our logo. Our theme this year is Stir Up Your Gifts. Okay, we have many gifts, but the 5 that we chose to focus on are commitment, enthusiasm, resilience, grace, and love. Let me first share with you how I came up with the theme. You see, when you're elected vice president of the SNA-NC Association, you're tasked with coming up with the theme for your year as president. I was brainstorming with some help from others on what I wanted my theme to be. Everyone came up with some really good suggestions, but none of them gave me that it factor I was looking for. So it was during the pandemic, and you're gonna see a lot of my examples today are gonna come from the pandemic, because that's during the time when I was coming up with this thing. It was during the pandemic, and our congregation at church had recently gone back to church, and we were meeting face to face after worshiping via Zoom for over a year. The pastor's message was about the gifts and talents that are given to us by God. The pastor told us that we all have gifts, and if we don't use them to help others, they may be taken away from us. He also said, now is not the time to get weary, because people are going through a lot, and they're gonna need us. He told us to dig deep down in our souls and stir up those gifts and use them for good. That was my aha moment. I realized then that this sermon was meant for me. So I decided that my theme would be stir up your gifts. Now, when you look at the word stir, it means to move around. Now, I don't mean move around like this when you're stirring, okay? You're gonna stir really fast to get those gifts jarring in your system. So there's effort involved, and there's also when you're stirring. So let's define these 5 gifts and share how I have seen them working in our child nutrition program. Commitment is defined as quality of being dedicated to a cause, and y'all, our members are definitely committed to feeding kids. When the pandemic came, our employees were in the schools preparing, cooking, packing meals, and making sure they were delivered to homes. Even the office staff pitched in and helped deliver meals. It was all hands on deck. They wanted to make sure our kids were fed. Now let's look at the next gift, enthusiasm. It is defined as intense and eager enjoyment. Okay, during the pandemic, as employees were delivering these meals, they could see the children. Some were with their parents. They were standing outside waiting for those boxes of meals to come. The children was filled with joy to see us. The employees were also thrilled to see their smiles and to know that they had played a part in making those kids happy for that day, which in turn made them enthusiastic about going on the next delivery day. Their enthusiasm continues even now when the children enter the cafeteria. One other thing that makes them enthusiastic is the fact that they are celebrated. We celebrate our staff through incentives that are offered throughout the year. We let them know that they are appreciated. Now let's look at the third gift of resilience. Resilience is defined as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. When the pandemic hit and schools were closed, we were in a panic wondering how we were going to get food to the children. We knew that there were many hungry children out there and we needed to feed them. So we had to come up with a plan. We partnered with our transportation department and used buses to deliver meals to households. We continue to feel the effects of the pandemic even now. We are experiencing supply chain issues, staff shortages, and even COVID outbreaks, but yet we are still feeding kids. Our last two gifts go hand in hand, grace and love. Grace is described as courteous goodwill, and love means taking a great interest and pleasure in something. We know that adults as well as children are going through many challenges. We tell staff, when you come to work, come with love in your heart for one another. Love is the greatest gift of all. Currently, in many cafeterias across the state, due to staff shortages, managers are working as child nutrition assistants while still making sure they do their manager responsibilities. As a result, our employees are working harder to make sure kids are fed every day. This can sometimes contribute to added stress, but we show grace and love in hopes that their stress will be minimized. They keep going because they know that the kids are counting on us and that the smiles we give them may be the only smile they get that day. Lastly, will you allow me some grace for a moment? While I take off my SNA president's hat and speak as the child nutrition director. If I have the opportunity to speak to legislators, I would encourage them to please, please, please reach deep down in the bottom of your soul and stir up your gift of love and grace by allowing universal school meals at no cost for children in North Carolina. You have the power to make this happen, and the kids are counting on you. Game on, legislators. In closing, remember, no matter who you are, no matter where we come from, we all have gifts. So let's stir up your gifts of commitment, enthusiasm, resilience, grace, and love to help in making sure the children in North Carolina do not go hungry. Thank you.